TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ding, ding, ding. Good morning. Ding, ding, ding. Ba, 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 bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Beautiful day. Ba, 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 bow. It's a beautiful day. Ding, ding, ding.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Rail Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday.
And thank God it is Friday. TGIF, everybody. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, rebroadcast across the plane with many thanks to our patrons over there on Patreon. Let's say hello to the fellas, starting off with one Mr. Walter Johnson. Walt, how's your week been, sir?
Muted. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, Zachary. Good morning, TFR and other places. How are you all? It's Friday. My dudes, we did it. We made it through that stuffing day. And now it's shopping day. Not really. This year they dispersed it around and they're doing it all kind of craziness. But it didn't keep us from getting wrapped up in it. Anyway, it's been an interesting little Thanksgiving day. I have a story to tell, but I will wait till we get a little more into this and I wake up and coffee gets in my brain. I need my morning brown. Anyway, wake up, get up. Let's say hello to Zachary, Too Nice for Rice Zabala, the nomad himself, Nathan Johnson. How are you, friend?
Hey, Walt. Hey, Josh. Hello, everybody out there in TFR land. I'm doing pretty good. I still kind of have a buzz.
Nice.
It's weird. I haven't drank in, God, it's been a while. I think Goosetown Tavern, maybe. The Flat Earth meetup in Denver.
Oh, man.
Before all the nonsense started. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't really drink that often. You know, Bob and Cammie don't really ever drink. I think that was the last time Bob drank as well. I don't even think he might have had a glass of wine yesterday or something. That's about it. But yeah, about 2 o'clock this morning, I remembered why I quit drinking. I just woke up and I was like, felt like I had to throw up and all that fun stuff. And I was just like, and it's not like I drink a lot. I don't drink anymore, not like I used to. But yeah, that stuff is poison, man.
It is indeed, sir. It is indeed. We can discuss the demon alcohol, I guess, in a minute. But first, Josh, how are you? And, sir, how was your lovely turkey gobble day?
Oh, it was so nice and quiet. We did manage to go over to her Dixie's folks, grab some dinner. David came out, grabbed a plate. Late, of course. He is my son. So it was really just long enough for him to microwave a plate of leftovers, gobble it down, and he had to go back to his mom's because he is working today. But then he should be back tonight after he gets off work for the weekend. So we shall see. It's really been the hardest thing in the move is seeing my son so much less. So it's one of those things where I have to practice what I preach and strive and make a conscious effort not to be my mother, and realize the kid's 19 years old. He's grown ass enough that he can come and go as he pleases, and I just have to learn to accept it. So I guess as he grows up and becomes his own man, I'll just have to grow up with him. But beyond that, it has been a really good week. It's, again, quiet. Things are starting to settle in. Amazon will be bringing things all next week as we try to finish off and finish up on the decorating and all that good stuff around the house. Fire extinguishers, that was something that was seriously lacking in this house. So I had to order a bunch of fire extinguishers, which are not cheap. But other than that, it's been...
No, they are not cheap.
Smooth sailing. Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, the little ones are not cheap even.
Yep, 2.5 pounds of suppressant that they hold in there. It's about the smallest one you can get that doesn't go in your car. That's still big enough to recharge from the fire department. Yeah. So I had to buy those, and I had to buy the holders. So I'm not just setting them on the ground, kicking them around.
Fire extinguisher sitting on the kitchen table.
And then just to be safe, I had to buy a couple extra smoke detectors. Which I guess is the extent of my excitement, apparently, according to Dixie. For moving into a new house, I show my excitement in different ways, like, buying fire extinguishers. Which I guess there's something to be said for that. I've not really felt the need to protect anything anywhere else I've lived from burning down to the ground. What do I care? Let it all burn. But I guess now that it's mine, I better get some fire extinguishers. Nope. It was a good turkey day. Again, this is one of those bittersweet Black Fridays because I really don't see too many businesses getting into the black today. So that's a little sad. All those entrepreneurs out there that have busted their ass and sacrificed so much just to try to keep their own little shops open, that live for this day and this week just to be able to make up for all their lost sales. And so many of them will be losing that today. Insane.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And what I didn't understand is, as I was at my local little big box store here yesterday or day before, I guess that was day before, they seem to be preparing themselves for the normal thing. Like they cleared out big row areas in the middle of the store, and I saw bunches of pallets in the back garden prism area, the gated off area when I drove in. So I don't know, even though all the circulars and all that crap said no, it's here on the paper, go online, we've been doing it for 4 weeks. I don't know. I think they are doing stuff, they're just not advertising. I don't know, it's just really weird what I saw going on locally. And I'm not saying many names. If I can help it today, they're making enough money, the bigger box stores, because like you said, the mom and pops definitely are struggling this year and this season. That is how they get through. So send them lots of love if you can. We've done more of that this year than we normally have. A lot of the people we had met doing the little vendor art festivals and things like that, trying to stay up with them and letting them know, Michelle has her thing. She did, again, ornaments and things with clay or whatever, Fimo or whatever that stuff is. So just trying to keep it local, as you say, trying to keep those people supported, because, my goodness, they definitely weren't supported by the ones who were supposed to take care of us, right? Ain't that what the government does? Builds roads, hold your hand.
Celebrating Christmas this year, maybe don't buy the television or the whatever, the big thing that you go to the big box store to get. Maybe make your gifts a little more personal this year and explain to your children why you're doing it. I know children need to be children and have their life, but it's weird. It's like the more we need to educate these children and stop lying to them so much. Because look what the situation got us into.
Right.
So let's stop following that same path that we went down as children, because it was all a bunch of lies and nonsense. But if your children are mad at you because they didn't get, the thing with the kung fu grip or whatever.
The kung fu grip this guy goes with.
Yeah, you explain to them, hey, there's a lot of people out there that need us to buy their products right now, that need us to support them, or else they're not going to be there anymore. And then next year, when I go to get you your kung fu grip, I won't be able to afford it because it'll be 5 times as much, because these people have the market cornered on everything. I know they're children, and I know they need, to have a childhood and all that good stuff. I think that is important. But at the same time, lessons need to be learned. And Christmas is a great time to teach a child a lesson like that. They'll remember that. I don't know, just saying. These people need support right now, a lot of support. So instead of getting, your thing like with the kung fu grip at the big box store, maybe get the wooden rocking horse or something like that instead, made by the guy down the street.
I actually plan on making some tie-dye shirts this year for people. So it's an actual gift that was made, not, well, I mean, I bought the dye and I bought the shirt. I didn't weave the cotton, but, it'll be an original. So we'll see how far I get with that, because it's already a month away and I'm planning on making a few shirts. But when I come on the show all pink and red and yellow and green, you'll know why.
Shout out to Uncle Leko Duma.
Yes.
With the super chat.
Thank you, sir. Very nice. A Black Friday sticker he sent to us.
35, what are those? Rands, I think. A South African Rand, I think is what I just looked up. R-A-N-D. Because I had no idea what those initials were.
I don't know them either. But that's cool. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Much.
I saw I missed a call from you this morning, brother, as I was awake and trying to pour coffee on my brain. So, excuse me, in a bit, we'll open up the phone lines, perhaps. Have a word if you would like to call in and hang out with us there, Nuka. We haven't had you on in a minute, so if you want to catch up with us, anybody else too, when we do open the lines.
So are there any other countries that have a holiday around this time? Like, or is the United States the only one that has like a Thanksgiving holiday, like at the end of November?
I don't know. I think the U.S. is the only country that celebrates,
yeah, the Thanksgiving.
Culturally
I'm wondering if
an indigenous species. I'm pretty sure. I think we're the only ones that do that. Hey, we killed all the Indians. Woo, let's have turkey. Sorry, I'm being a little facetious. But yeah, I think it's us. Now, I read earlier our buddy, the Alan Holman, line producer extraordinaire, and his family normally celebrate our fest, whatever it is, with his family there in the Canadian area. I'm being very silly this morning. Sorry. It's the lack of sleep. But they didn't this year, he said, because they have apparently limited their gatherings there to 5 people. I know I heard recently that apparently Louisiana's in stage something 2 or 4. I don't know what numbers mean. I don't care enough to even look up what any of these stages mean. But apparently our stage changed days ago. So other family members didn't come. We may discuss that on Tuesday, the folks that weren't coming because of their fear of the vid. But yeah, we didn't care. We were all there and hugging and
yeah, we had a great time here yesterday.
Smiling and seeing each other's faces. It was awesome.
Karen B, Ted, and Brian came by, and Jana and Janet, some friends we met from just before Flattoberfest. And then Karen's children. I think it was altogether 11 people with the children, everything. Yeah, we had a blast. We were jamming some old school rap, me and Brian. That was fun. We were playing a bunch of older songs and stuff, and then most people went down to the river to walk around a little bit. And I knew Brian liked rap. And I was like, watch this, I'm going to play something old. And he's going to be like, no way. And I put on Too Short. And he just, yeah, I think there's videos on Facebook of me and him rapping.
Oh, I got to find that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I need that too. So a little clarification. Apparently our buddy Alan said there that Canada celebrates their Thanksgiving in October. He's probably told us that in the past. I just forgot. Again, I thought we were the only ones that would celebrate the holiday like that, but they normally do it there in October. His family does it with the American Thanksgiving in November. Appreciate that, Alan. But again, they didn't because of the limitations to it all. Good morning, Nachiketa. Glad to have you around, friend. We had a great time with you the other day. Glad you're here. For sure, for sure. And among him, we got more people. Jazz Sinclair. I love that name. Good morning. Kelly's here. Diva's here. Liz is here. We said Nuka's here. I see that my scroller is not scrollering. Kelly FE. Is that Kelly 1 or Kelly 2? I always mix them up. Liz, I can't help it. Lucas is here. Good morning, Lucas. Oh, scroller. Why is my scroller not scrollering? I'm probably missing everybody. Voynich is here. Who else? Lucas is here. Did I say Diva? I probably said Diva. I know I'm missing somebody. Jason Jones was here early, and so was Big Mike D in the house. I know I'm missing somebody else. But Rob H., that's who I saw early here in the call. Glad you guys are here early in the morning.
Heck yeah. Hell, I'm barely here this early in the morning.
I'm struggling, trust me, because I had a very interesting night last night after the evening wore down, and I went and took my son home, and getting late. He had to work. I needed to get back to go to bed for the show. Dropped him off at his house. Started heading back to the in-laws to gather up pie and whatever other stuff I really didn't need to eat more of last night, but I needed it anyway. And so I'm heading back to the house in downtown Lafayette. And I'm on the out little skirts area going down a certain road. Not really rural, just a wooded area heading into Lafayette. And I noticed lights in the woods at the tree line that, being very familiar with that area, were unusual. To me, it looked like either they had put up a rig, because we are prone to that here in South Louisiana. Suddenly there'll be a rig in somebody's back pasture, and there it is. Yesterday it wasn't there, and today there's a rig. So that's how it looked, like lights lined up vertically. But as I approached the next clearing that I could see them through the tree line, because they were low enough to be hidden among the tree line, I could see that now, instead of looking like a tower or a rig derrick, now it looked like a crane, because all the lights were lined up at a 45-degree angle. And at that point, I began to go, this can't be normal, because there's no cranes operating this late on a Thursday Thanksgiving, right? Because it was dark. And then the lights broke formation, and I went, oh, shit. Okay, so I grabbed my new Sheikah Slate phone with its amazing camera, and grabbed that bad boy, and I tried to whip the car around, because where I was now on the road, I couldn't see it. It had gotten really buried behind the tree line, and I knew there was another road that would cut straight towards what I was seeing if I could get back to it. So I literally hopped the median, whipped the car around. I mean, it's a dirt median there. Whipped the car, got down the road, and started trying to film it. I will show you guys the video of me trying to get to it to see it. And as I'm riding down the road, watching this happening in the sky, these lights began to, like I said, they were in a line formation straight up. Then they went at like 45 degrees. Then they broke formation and started, like, one would zip left, one would zip right. There were about 6 or 7 of them. Now, we've discussed all these things, blue beam and holograms and lights on the clouds and drones and stuff the government has created and stuff the government perhaps has been given and stuff they may have back engineered and whatever else your theories and stories might be about things you see in the sky. And myself, over the years, have seen a light here, a couple things there, maybe 2 or 3 lights way in the distance that I couldn't identify. But this one was one of those stomach falling out, oh shit, what am I seeing? Because at different times, these things would flare up. And I'm thinking, is this like the Chinese lanterns maybe? But I'm like, no, because they were in formation and then they weren't. I'm like, well, maybe they're just getting blown around up there. But the lights would go really bright and cause my camera to defocus. Once I would get the focus back in, some of the lights would go really dim. And then some of the lights would go towards the other lights and like become part of the light. All the classic crap you've heard 100 times. I've just never seen it at this level of 7 of these lights. Dancing, doing triangle shapes, swirling around each other. I finally get to a parking lot that I can stop into. By this time, they're getting like further away or lower. I can't tell. And every now and again, they'll all just suddenly shift and move in formation at once. And by this time, I'm like struggling to get out of the seatbelt, to get out of the car, to get a good view that's not through my windshield. And I've got some footage, and it's just some lights in the sky. But without a doubt, I can't explain what I saw. And this is after years of looking, knowing, experimenting with these encounters, looking at people's footage. Like I said, there seemed to be flame involved in the makeup because when they would brighten up, that's what it seemed like a flame lighting up. And in the video, you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but not really, because it's just bad positioning. Where I was trying to video it, there was a bright street light closer to me that kept messing the focus up. So interesting evening, without a doubt. Enough to where I just was befuddled because I'm ready for the blue beam fake alien card. I'm ready for all of it. I don't know what the hell I saw. It wasn't drones. It wasn't helicopters. It wasn't lights being shown on the underside of clouds. These were objects that were doing shit that I cannot frickin' explain.
Well, speaking of
Do what?
Speaking of strange lights in the sky, were you there Wednesday when we were talking about the meteor shower of 1833, the supposed meteor shower?
All went through my head as well. Is that's occurred before? And we know lots of weird, crazy things have been going on with meteor showers of late, being recorded, fireballs in the sky. And then this, and like I said, if anything ever felt like signs and portents in the sky, this truly felt like that. Like this is something I didn't see and I was being shown. That's truly.
You guys got to go check that out. The night the stars fell, I think they call it. That's all you have to put into the search engine. And it'll bring up this night, November something, 1833. It was such a strange, they said it looked like snow falling, but it was stars. Some people said it looked like the stars were on fire as they fell from the sky. A slave owner in Missouri released his slaves because he thought it was the sign for the end of the world coming. They're saying everybody that was alive at the time, the oldest people who had seen more nights than anybody else, had never seen the night look like this. And it was from Florida to Maine to Missouri to all over the U.S. saw this. People by the thousands were getting up and waking up their family members and going out to the middle of the road in the middle of the night to look at the sky.
Well, I'm hoping
that sounds like a reset event to me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that sounds like the beginning of a reset event to me.
That's this whole weird sky phenomenon that's been going on has felt like to me. That's why I'm certainly hoping some people in Lafayette besides myself saw it. I did notice a car like where I was at in the parking lot. I was kind of on the side road, like I said, and then up ahead was the main road. And I saw a couple of cars put on their brake lights, it seemed, like, because I was looking in video and like maybe they saw it, but where they were, there was no way to really pull over and get out and see what it was. So, but I checked online after I got home just to see, and I typed in UFO Thanksgiving, Louisiana, something like that. And it turns out last year on Thanksgiving, 2019, over Shreveport, which is up north Louisiana, pretty much the exact same thing was filmed. Lights that were in a line, did some line shapes, and then broke apart and did swirlies and triangles and circles and disappeared. Apparently it's a Thanksgiving something. I don't know. We'll see if anybody else reports it. What I plan on doing is the video, unfortunately, I was still playing around with the 8K version. I mean, the 8K camera on my phone. So that's the format I was still in when I hit record. So lots of problems with that. I couldn't share it on the TV once I got back to the in-laws because of the format of the video. I couldn't just multicast to their TV to show everyone. We had to pass the phone around. And then me trying to put it up or upload it or share it to our little media sharing Telegram app. It was too big for Telegram even because it was a raw 8K video. So I've had to deformat it a bit down like 2 resolutions to just regular 1080. So it will go up and be seen. So I've got it hopefully in that folder. I'm looking now to see if it ever got here. Sometime after the show, I will probably get that on my channel, our channel here somewhere, so you guys can just get an idea.
That is crazy.
How close we are to the break?
Oh, wow. We're at a break. Didn't we do that?
Well, while Zach leaves us hanging in suspension, we'll...
I'm watching a video.
You see?
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I wish it was crazier. I wish I could have got exactly what I was seeing, because what I was seeing is not what you're seeing on that video. It's just the best I could do with the limited time. Hey, we're breaking. Let's shut up.
Definitely moving. Yeah. Okay.
We'll shut up. Talk later after they give them vitamins or Ella. It's Ironworx. Josh, Walt, and Zach. We'll be back.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing.
So much to do. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the Ironworks on Truth Frequency Radio. Josh, Walt, and Zach hanging out with you, catching up over the long holiday weekend, which means I don't have to go to work today. And just a reminder, there's a link in our show description that points you to a Teespring store, whereupon you can buy snazzy little things like this awesome t-shirt that I'm wearing, or this comfy Ironworks pillow right here that I happen to have because it is a happy little morning show that starts at 4 a.m. my time. So it's always nice to come down with a pillow and a blankie.
Yeah, I like that pillow a lot.
I do too. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be, surprisingly.
No, Liz, it's not time to plant seeds yet. I'm just getting excited. I still got a few more months, but it's been so long since I planted a seed and got to watch it grow and care for it. It feels like it's been a lifetime almost. It's weird. I only skipped one season, but it's just, yeah, it's weird. So I'm getting excited.
Indeed. Shout out to all of you for the love and the prayers that were sent to my brother's sweet, sweet little fur angel, Lilu. She recovered from the surgery. It was a rough couple days. It was apparently pretty rough. It was to the point where, like, literally every breath he would get a whine. He said, you know, and she wouldn't do thumbs, which that's her thing, is she'll suck your thumb to say hello. And if she won't take thumbs, Lilu's not feeling good. So he said for about a day she was like that. And the next day the whining stopped and she was a little more in need of attention. And then yesterday, as the day wore on, she started doing thumbs again. So Lilu is getting back to her old self. Thank you all. Thank you all. My brother sends his thanks as well. I'll put a picture up. I think I've got lots of them in my old phone here. I'm working on it. I'll stick one on the show description for you. I probably got one on my computer too. I'll find one of her second thumbs and see if I can find that for you. But yeah, she's a blast. She's something else. I miss her a lot. So I'm glad that you guys helped out with that. Someone else also asked about Candy there in chat. We talked to her on Tuesday as she ventured out on the road again and on her tripping trip. So sending lots of love and protection and safety for her little journey as well. Maybe if she hears us, she'll show up for the last 10 minutes or so. Just giving you crap, Candy. I know you're always there exactly when you intend on being there.
That's right. She arrives precisely when she means to. Ooh, that's a rumbly in my tumbly.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I think I ate too much in the afternoon and didn't eat again until, late enough. So I'll be hitting breakfast quick after the show. So this afternoon, if I'm not mistaken, Zach, we finally got things straightened out and your friend will be here.
Yes, we'll have Dom on talking about magnetic water and how it affects plants and showing pictures, the difference between the magnetic water and regular water. And yeah, I was just amazed. Now some people, they're probably gonna be like, oh yeah, it looks a little bit bigger. But in reality, the way plants grow, it's amazing. If you know plants, like I'm sure Lucas, when he sees these pictures, is going to be like, no way. But to somebody who doesn't, take care of plants and watch them grow and this and that, it just looks like a little bit older plant maybe, or, I don't know. But yeah, knowing how it was set up and just the difference, I think it's pretty amazing.
Well, I know we talked about that. Was it the pre-show? Well, no, because Daz was talking about the water energy too. Maybe it was in chat. There's so much going on lately. I'm sorry, I'm conflating all this probably completely. Oh, sorry.
And this could be a conversation that was had 3 weeks ago when we first talked about getting Dom on.
Maybe so.
Before I had to cancel the Friday show and threw everybody off.
That's fine. We know you were doing important things, sir. Absolutely. Well, anyway, I know we talked about that, and maybe that is something I read from Daz about the shaped water. I mean, the structure just changed. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. Transformed water. I don't know.
Yeah, it vortexed would be a good way to put it.
Put vortex. So I know we talked about that. I'm very interested to find out more about this magnetism. And I think we may even brought this up when we discussed it off the air or either here. I'm not sure, but we maybe years back talked about this sort of idea of using magnets to create like a water filtration with Hacksaw, which shout out Hacksaw. Miss you, buddy. Give us a call sometime.
Hope you're doing all right there in California.
Good. We definitely would like to hear from you. But yeah, I think it was him we were talking about that with, like creating some kind of channel that would pull things out with magnetism, but the magnetism also affect the water. And again, lots of ideas come and go, and that one's been a while, so I'm not sure I could be mixing up too many things as well. I know I played with water changing over the years. I had a purple energy plate, which if you're a old school UFO convention goer like myself, you probably have seen the purple energy plate or have one in your back pocket right now. I don't have mine in my pocket, but I did all day yesterday. Anyway, it's a plate. And the story I was told 20, 30 years ago when I bought this thing from a very wonderful lady who was very knowledgeable and very trustworthy and became a very good friend of mine at the time. But this plate was somehow based off of some kind of Tesla patent technology. I don't know exactly because it's been too long ago. But the plate has like vortexes built into it at a vortices would be the word, built into it at a very low molecular level that you can't really see unless you get a microscope on it. And that affects this plate, which affects things you put the plate under, like water. If you take the water and put it on this plate and then use that water to water your plants, the plants definitely do differently than plants that were not watered with the purple energy plate water. Anyway, so I played with that over the years with plants and other things. You can put other things on this plate and it affects them.
He drinks it. He makes it now for himself to where he's consuming this water.
It went under my son's incubator. It's not the word, I'm sure, but the thing they put him in, the lung, the oxygen tent, all that. It was under him through his whole premature getting here and trying to survive. So it was with my mom for years when she first started getting sick. I had like 3 or 4 of them, but I've dispersed them out over the years to different people. So I've got one left. But anyway, and then there seems like at that same time, there was some kind of stuff a friend in that same group had that you put it in your water. It came in a little dropper bottle. You put it in water and it changed the structure of water. It made the water more absorbable, if that makes any sense. So if you drink this water with vitamins, you got so much of a percentage of an increase out of it. And at the time I was drinking this stuff, I was working at the casino and we were all trying to figure out a way to stay alert and upbeat because you pretty much are on stage for your shift there on dealing on the table. And we'd all started trying like the natural herbal formula things that were out at the time, like Formula One and all those, stuff that we all found out later had horrible crap in them, but were supposed to be healthy versions of speed, essentially. And dude, I drank some water with a handful of those on the way to work one day, and by the time I got to work, I was jacked up. I was like, my face was red, my skin was red, I was on fire. Turns out cayenne pepper was one of the like the 5th or 6th ingredient down, and that got in me and got on me. So yeah, that water definitely did some interesting things. You could apply it to a burn. If you sprayed it on a burn out of a spray bottle, like within an hour, the redness, the skin was gone. It was pretty miraculous stuff. I can't remember the actual name now, but I do know the guy that used to have it. So I might get in touch with him and see if he wants to come on and talk about it sometime. What? I see Josh dropping a purple plates link. I haven't looked. Let me go see what you found.
I just grabbed
Have a great day, Lucas and Nachiketa. They had to bounce. Said
Yes,
people
brothers, y'all
do
take.
this.
Wow, yep, there's the site. I mean, there's the purple plate on this site. That's crazy. I should have known they would be on online by now. Yeah. I don't see my original plate though. I see a bracelet. I see a few things.
And that was just a real quick Google search of
Tesla purple energy plate. There you go. I knew Tesla was involved. So now they fashioned them into bracelets. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if I want to wear a big purple bracelet like that, but it's pretty cool.
So what's with the purple? Is that?
I don't know if that's just the color that the person who came up with these decided they needed to be, or if that affects it as well. I know color does affect things, so I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, why marketing 101, give people different
There's
options.
my plate. I found it here. I'll send y'all a link directly to the purple plate that I currently, well, not again, it's not in my pocket right now, but if I leave this house, it is in my back left pocket. And what was funny is over the years after that conference, when I would see people like, and there would be the little shape in their back pocket, and I'd ask, hey, that's not by any chance a purple plate. And they'd pull out theirs, and I'd pull out mine, and we'd kind of like salute our plates. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Those things were everywhere for about 2 years. All right, let me drop it. There it goes. It's in chat for the actual page to get your own. I wish I was making some money off this, but I'm not. It's just an awesome little product. And again, it's probably more of a Dumbo's feather than anything else, but it worked for me so far.
Yeah, I've never heard of the purple plates before. Yeah, I'm gonna look into this and see if, because I don't like purple. Can I get a green plate that does the same thing?
I don't know. I don't know about the purple plate. You may have, I mean, about the green plate. You may have to invent that one, Zach.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of purple.
During the break, I will go get my plate out of my pants from yesterday that are in there hanging on the hook, and I'll show it to y'all after the break. Wait, what's Dax saying? Okay, it's the color. Oh, it's something about something else. I thought he was asking about the metal purple, the purple metal. Anyway.
Purple rain, purple
Right.
rain. Nope, didn't do that one yesterday. We did do, there was a Prince song we played. And we were just jamming yesterday. It was fun. We had both monitors going. People would go up and pick the next song they wanted to hear on the other monitor. Yeah, it was a good time. Violent Femmes.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they bring all their equipment on the bus. Yeah, it was fun. I haven't jammed to music in so long. Like that. Ever since I found out it was evil and wicked and used to control and manipulate us. Kind of quit listening to it once I realized that. But I don't know. There's something about it. I love music.
Yeah, well, here's my take on that. I went through a little phase of trying to wrap my head around the music industry, and, you know, I really don't care anymore. I know what music is for me. I know what it is inside my soul, and I know what I do with it inside my soul. And I know where it comes from when it comes out of my soul.
So
what they do with it to fuck people's heads up, well, that does suck. Those people should have enlightened themselves so they can get past all that. Damn it.
Dixie had never seen Shawshank Redemption.
What?
Yeah, exactly. But
communism.
We sat down and watched it last night. And do you remember when Andy Dufresne got in that first load of stuff from the library when he was writing a letter every day to get books from the library he was building? And they sent him a load of stuff, and in it was a bunch of records. And it was like, all right, get all this stuff out of here before we come back. And he was going through these boxes and saw that he was sitting in the office by himself with these records. So he puts on this opera. and realizes that he can just hijack the intercom system, lock everybody out, and just play opera. And he gets caught. They send him down to the hole. But when he comes back out of this isolation down in the hole and meets up with everybody else, there's a conversation about the music. But how they couldn't get is the easiest 2 weeks he ever spent because he spent it with Beethoven. He's like, what, you got that record player down there? He's like, no, it's in here. It's in my head, and it's in here. It's in my heart. It's like, don't you guys feel that about any sort of music? He's like, that's hope. You got to keep that hope alive. And it was just this conversation about what it is that music carries with you. And it goes on to be represented by the harmonica that Red carries around, because that was Red's hope, that he needed to be able to play and not end up like Brooks, institutionalized and unable to live in society. So that was his hope. That was his getting out and going back to hang out with Andy on the beach. Sorry. It had been a long time since I'd seen that movie. That was really good.
That's an awesome breakdown, dude. You should do some like video breakdowns of movies. You've done that more than once, where you said things about a movie I've seen many times and thought I had some good takes on, and you definitely made me want to go back and watch it again. So
it's definitely worth
movie round table
for not being a weird, creepy Stephen King story. It's a really good one. We were just watching.
Have you ever read the original?
I don't think I have. I never was a huge Stephen King.
Redemption. I had read it back when it was still a new story. Like, I was a huge fan from my first experience of reading The Shining, and then The Stand had me locked. So I was good for anything he came out with. I was there the day it hit. And I remember when that book came out and reading that story. And then when I found out, it was a good story, but it definitely wasn't a standout story like others in that same book of that collection of novellas, technically, not really short stories. And when they made it into that movie, I will say they did some pretty incredible stuff. In fact, I was going to say that to our buddy, the Alan Holman, line producer extraordinaire. He said he's never watched Shawshank, and he knows stuff about it, and it doesn't seem to appeal to his taste in movies. I get you, brother. I have a certain taste, if you will, and every now and again I do stray from it and find some gems. And I would definitely say Shawshank is one of those gems that if you've never seen it, just sit down and do it. It's worth it, dude. It's really an amazing movie. It touches the soul in lots of really positive ways. And it's got the voice of God. I mean, what else do you need? And do pray. I know it's a spooky Morgan Freeman impersonation. It's like he's in the room when I do it. I know.
So Jazz Sinclair in chat, does that name strike a bell? It sounds, there's a familiarity to it.
From way back, I thought I remembered Jazz Sinclair when I saw it, but maybe I'm not.
That's what I thought too. An old way back name that gets dredged out of my memory from years ago. Christ, 2019 seems like years ago.
Years ago. Ditto. Jazz saying The Stand is still the best novel that Jazz has ever read. I'm not going to say he or she. I'm going to play the pronoun game.
I say it's a he. I would checked out Jazz's channel too, as did Alan. Looks like he got some awesome videos up, just him hanging out in his car.
Nice. I had a chance to actually. Drop a link so I don't have to go do that whole searching for somebody's name that I can't find on YouTube thing.
Will do.
And again, I'm not getting paid. I'm not I don't get anything from it. And I have a whole lot of opinions that don't agree with Mr. King these days. But that book and the continuing story of where it all led with The Dark Tower is undoubtedly a true story that has happened and is happening. It probably will happen again.
2016, Jazz says. See, I knew that name was really familiar.
Yep, I did too. That's why I was like shouting out earlier. So, and Riz, good morning. Adding himself to the chat, I see there. I just noticed. Glad to see you, friend. Wow, we've almost crept through a whole nother section, have we not?
We have. We got 5 minutes left of this first hour.
Cool.
And I suppose we can open up the phone lines the next hour?
Yeah, get out of my head. I was going to say, we threatened to do it, so why don't we open up the lines?
I got them both.
Ours? Theirs?
Both. I got them. I'm looking at them both right now.
213-233-3998. You can call 213-233-3998. That's the TFR call-in number. There's also 833-TFR Live. Is that right?
Yep.
And then, you can always call us at 304-503-FLAT. That's 304-503-3528.
And, looks like we'll open up the phone lines on the other side. I know we do have some space. Again, I have completely ignored searching any stories this week. I really need to get back into it.
I dropped a few here and there. I don't even know anymore now what they were. Seems like there was something coming up this week that I
know something coming up December 21st.
Yeah, we need to speak on that.
Call that out. That was wild.
That was a request for some show material, too.
Yes, I believe our friend Liz asked us to speak about that date, actually, over there in our Iron Scouts Twitter room, which if you're not on Twitter hanging out with us, don't feel bad. We're really not hanging out there much anymore either. We used to spend our days on Twitter, and it just became a fight against algorithms like here on the tubes. So, unfortunately, I don't spend as much time there as I used to, but it is good to know that when I do go back there, there's awesome people hanging out waiting.
Jesus. Sorry, it's all... I got some serious bells ringing now with Jazz Sinclair. Look, we had several conversations, or I had several conversations with Jazz, even offline, as I recall. Man, I am so embarrassed. Usually I'm really good with this stuff, but 2016 was quite a while ago. And
yeah, that was a minute back. That was a minute ago.
Well, bringing Mars samples to Earth could cost an extra $1 billion. Okay, but NASA should totally do it.
Extra? An extra $1 billion? Not like it's going to cost us $1 billion, but whatever price that we quoted before, we accidentally lowballed it by $1 billion.
They need one more $1 billion. Come on, that's what? Only what? A couple million a day or something like that. A few. Maybe 10 million a day? No, not even that much. It's not that much. Come on. It's just $1 billion. It's a nice round number.
It certainly is.
NASA deserves it, Josh. They're the chosen ones, remember?
All right.
Oh, that set me off back in the day, dude. That did. That lady said that. I work for NASA. I'm one of the chosen ones. We shouldn't have to put up with you people. I'm like, fuck you. Sorry. Excuse me.
I've tried to look for that show so many times, and I always get sidetracked because we've got so much stuff in there. That's why, Jazz, I apologize. I don't remember. We've been doing 3 shows a week for over 2 years. So you have to apologize if my memory from 4 years ago is not what it should be. But
yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. I do see we have a caller. So caller, no, I see you, and we will get to you on the other side of the break. We got about 90 seconds before we hit that. So if you can hang on for just a few moments, I will definitely take your call once we come back from the commercial break.
Absolutely. Please hang out with us there on the call, because I think I know who this is. I don't want to spoil it, but it could be somebody you guys know.
Yeah, I think could be good.
Could be. Teaser, teaser, teaser. Teaser, teaser. Teaser, teaser. So yeah, we'll take that call when we get back.
Maybe get into some space. I wouldn't call it so much lettuce. This is, I don't know if the validity of how often it happens is correct. But yeah, something kind of big. It doesn't happen, it hasn't happened since I've been alive, at least. And that's, as far as I know, that's when that whole thing started. I don't know if it was before I was here.
I'm glad you got here, Zach. It was pretty boring before you started shit up.
We will be right back, folks.
Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school. You can.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Ironworks. We have got a caller on the line. Caller, thanks so much for getting up or staying up this fine Friday. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you guys?
Just wonderful. So
I've got to tell you, I love your bumper stuff that brings you back in from the commercials. It brings up nostalgia. I guess I've been listening that long. So, I know we hate change, and I know you've got to change it one of these days, but I do love listening to it.
Well, thanks.
And I got to say, I've missed the Onion on TFR because I hate hearing that news. That's why I like listening on YouTube now.
Yeah, the Onion was definitely more entertaining because at least they
Yes, it was.
took it upon themselves to make it clear that they were farcical rather than trying to make us believe that what they say is true, even though Fox News and the Onion stories both sound very similar oftentimes. But I can cheat because I've got this call board here so I can see sort of who it is that calls in. But why don't you remind everybody who you are?
I'm Jason Jones from Southern Indiana.
Jason,
and I just want to call in to say I'm looking so forward to tonight's show because I'm a nurse now, but before I was a nurse, I actually have another degree. I grew up on a large corporate farm, and I'm an agronomist, which is a plant doctor. So I spent a year in northern Indiana, and then I was a certified agronomist for the state of Iowa for a year before I became a nurse. So and now we've got some land in southern Indiana, and we're planning on starting a homestead here with hopefully we'll have enough to kind of sell locally to take care of some of our neighbors. So that's my plan this year. So really looking forward to that show tonight.
That is,
yeah, I think awesome. That is a great idea too, man. Anybody who, is out of work for some reason or whatever, and you have a little bit of land, it doesn't take a whole lot. You get a third acre of a garden, you can clear $100,000 in a year if you do it right.
That's the hope.
Yeah, and that's one person working 40 hours a week can do that alone. So a family, you guys should be able to do real well. And where'd you go to school up in northern Indiana? Did you go to Purdue Agricultural Center?
No. I actually went down to Southern Illinois to school for that, but I worked up at Rochester area, Kewanna.
Okay,
is where I was at.
All right, yeah, I know Rochester. I have family that lived out there. Lighters Ford, little town right outside of Rochester.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But
small world.
The funny thing was, I told you I kind of woke up while I was in the medical realm, but there were some red flags, when I was an agronomist, because here I'm seeing these big companies like DuPont, Monsanto, these big guys, and on one end I see that they're selling chemicals and seed on one side, but then on the other side they've got pharmaceutical side to them where they're selling drugs. So I'm thinking, even back then, this is 20 plus years ago, I was thinking that's kind of odd. They're selling seed, chemicals, and drugs. And then you got the other big companies that are still part of them selling the food. So they had the triangle of disease right there. That's partially how they control everything. But, I should have woke up back then, but I didn't. But that was some red flags, definitely.
Yeah, it's funny. You wouldn't think there was that much sort of derision towards humans and pursuit of the almighty dollar, that they would take all of that power and control just to keep us sick, just so they can turn a profit. But once you sort of start to see all the stuff they actually do, that's almost, old hat.
Yeah, look at the obesity rate. It was funny because you guys didn't hear it, but Joe Biden was talking about how this is the century. The 21st century is going to be the century for America. Like, have you seen the rates in everything, our health care or just our health in the last 20 years of this first, this greatest century for the U.S.? I mean, we have fallen far from where we were. I mean, in the 50s, you might have had 2 or 3 obese people, going at like the fair or whatever. Now it's like 50-50. And that's 70 years. I mean, the health of this country has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're saying it. They
Well,
control the food, the medication, they control all that stuff. It's planned.
We're
This is
definitely
all
one of the
planned.
sickest nations in the world. Yep. It is. Well, I'll let you go, guys. Let you get another caller in there. I just want to say I'm really looking forward to the show tonight. If I'm working, I am seeing patients tonight. So if I'm working, I'll definitely catch the replay.
Well, we appreciate you, Jason. Appreciate you calling in.
Absolutely, Jason. Thank you so much, my friend, for calling, for hanging out, for listening, and for doing what you're doing out there, dude. Because no matter what may be true or not true, you are still doing some blessed work. So take care of yourself.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
See you, Jason. Have a great morning. Great weekend.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
Starting up a market garden. And I mean, really, if what they're predicting is going to be coming down the pipe, food shortages and this and that, I mean, that's a no-brainer. You're going to make money. That's the one thing about market gardening that you have to worry about is selling your product before it goes bad. That's the hardest part. That's why a walk-in cooler is a lifesaver in that industry. You can keep your crop for a few more days nice and cold and all that kind of good stuff, and then pull it out as you need to sell it. But that was the whole issue is, selling your product, having all that product and being able to get rid of it before it goes bad. Well, if there's going to be food shortages, then that kind of takes away the only issue I really see with market gardening. Of course, there's pestilence and, drought, this and that, all those over rain. There's all kinds of things that can happen. But the hardest part about it was selling it on time. All that other stuff you can get over. You can get around a lot of that stuff. But yeah. So yeah, market garden, I'm going to keep screaming it, is a great idea. Or even if you just need a little extra cash, you don't have to have an actual market garden, a big giant one. You could just have your little garden that you normally do, go down to the farmer's market with your extras.
Or distribute it amongst your neighbors.
Yeah, that's what I did. I'd give it to the neighbors and then take a bunch into work and stuff and pass it out. But yeah, I'm saying if you're in need of money, and a garden's not hard work. I mean, it can be, getting it ready and going. But once it gets going, they're not that hard to maintain. Get out there and do the weeding. It's like anything else. You got to just go out there and do it. Just shut up and do it.
Just shut up and do it. Everything takes effort.
Yeah. And sitting around bitching about it isn't going to get it done any quicker. So just shut up and do it. That's what that doctor told me about eating apples. He's like, that's fine. You don't trust Western medicine, all that. He didn't say that, but I told him that, He's like, well, eat an apple a day. He's like, doesn't matter if you don't really care for apples anymore. You lose the flavor. Just shut up and eat it. Just eat the thing, and you won't have that problem anymore. Yeah, son, just do it. Go plant a seed. I'm going to keep screaming this. It's a great way. I was thinking about that. Reasons why people should try gardening and why they should have children it should be like if I had children now, gardening would definitely be a requirement. They would have to plant a seed, take care of it, and see that plant all the way through until they can gather the seeds from it. At least one plant. You know, that's an important skill, but it also teaches patience. It really does. You can't sit there and watch it and make it go faster, you know. It's one of those things where the plant's going to take its time, it's going to go through all its stages, and then you get the fruit from it, but not until it does all this other stuff first. And yeah, I think I learned a lot of patience with gardening.
Nothing like watching Axl Rose dance with a microphone.
We played that one yesterday too.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, my buddy's mom always used to say, patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And I always used to get annoyed with that, but now I get it. Yeah, I was young. Yeah, patience it's a great thing when you start practicing it. I don't know if it's something one can master, you know? Can one be too patient? Over patient? I believe so.
To the point of inaction, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a time for action. There is. But being patient enough, you know, to see when that time is. Can't go picking your fruit before your plant's ready. You have to be patient. That action cannot be committed yet.
A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Don't count your eggs before they're hatched. Don't put the cart before the horse.
These are very wise sayings, you know?
God, shout out to Lumberjack. Jesus.
Shout to that. Go ahead, sir.
That $19.99 super chat. Shout out to Zach. And happy holidays to all.
I love you, brother.
That is
That,
awesome.
that was a fun guy to hang out with, dude. For real.
Cool.
Yeah. I wish he was able to be, you know, just right down the road, really. That'd be awesome. I mean, Brooke and I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, I could see him, you know, just not having a passport and traveling around the world and doing it. Like, no problem. That guy can get in and out of wherever. He's like, yeah, I was in the back where all the, you know, this here, the bus boys and this and that, blah, blah, blah. We're just walking around hotels, just walking, just going in wherever, you know. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. When you don't see signs, and you just choose not to see them, you see so much more. You really do. Yeah, it was fun. He had that whole hotel down. Like after the first night, he's like, "Oh yeah, come this way. This is quicker. We can get there this way." Yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you again, man. That was good times. So I'm saying we need our own state. We need a state where everybody can move, and because we have all different types of people. You know, we have electricians and carpenters and people who do all kinds of things. Everything that we would need to have a society. You know, the awake individuals, and I'm not just saying flat earthers, but people that are awake or wanting to wake up, searching for truth, this and that know all this stuff that's going on is bullshit. I mean, there's enough of us to where we could have our own society that could function and, you know, have electricity and running water, but actual clean water would come out of your pipes, not poison.
Clean, structured, magnetized, vortexed water.
Yeah.
And that would be given to your animals. And the animals that you consumed would, you know, be healthy and clean and not full of all the drugs that Jason was talking about, DuPont, Monsanto, all these giant corporations that have just totally decimated that whole industry of agriculture. And I mean, they took away hemp and they started growing cotton and lumbering everything, where hemp could take place, replace most of that stuff. I mean, we don't need lumber to build our houses. We could have used hempcrete. It's like 10 times stronger than concrete, maybe 3 times stronger, I forget. But it's amazing stuff, but we can't use it in this country. They're starting to sell it here, I guess. I don't think they make it here, but they can sell it here, and it's super expensive. It's ridiculous. Yeah, all this was done on purpose. We need to get back to nature, how it was. I will never, ever plant another grass seed for as long as I live. Unless it's for, you know, animals to eat it.
Shout out to Dire Straits, just popped into chat. Shout out to We Are Waking Up, just popped into chat. Good morning, everybody. Glad everybody waking up nice and early.
Wahoo, good morning. Good to have you, friend. Miss partying hard with you on Twitter. We were just talking about our lack of Twitterness earlier in the show, man. That's one of my old Twitter warrior friends there. Glad you're hanging out with us this morning. And everybody else is here. I've been trying to say hello there in chat again, trying to play catch up. I can't believe we're almost blown through this third segment here. My goodness.
I know.
My goodness.
Just over 7 minutes.
Bring up what's going to be happening in December?
Yes, we can. We certainly may.
There is a conjunction taking place on December 21st. Now, they're not actually touching, but they will be closer than they've been since, 1623? It's just a number that popped into my head. A long time, they claim, long time. But Jupiter and Saturn will be lining up in the sky and appearing as one bright object. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. I think I'm going to get the camera out and see what I can't see. But yeah, it's weird. There's not a whole lot of, I don't know what it was. Back in my Nibiru days, it seemed like there was a lot more being said about the planets and what they were doing. To whereas now, I haven't seen a whole lot of mention of this. I know it's still a ways away. We got a month to go, a little less than a month. Well, it's less than a month. This should be a big thing.
And that's an interesting date.
Yeah. On the solstice. But I think we were talking about this Wednesday, and like Cammie said, the planets aren't in line with the stars. They move differently, and they move differently from each other. So you're going to have these different, it's almost like every year there's a different conjunction happening. Like not Jupiter and Saturn, but maybe Jupiter and Venus, or Venus and Mars, or whatever the case may be. So there's a lot of conjunctions do take place and happen, but Jupiter and Saturn are a weird one because they take so long to do their revolutions. They just don't meet up as often. Or, I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that. I know Marve in chat earlier was talking about it. Yeah, Dire Straits, Cosmic, Heart, Human Heart. Tell me I gotta read a book. I gotta go look into it. Read chapter 10.
That's right. Millionaires don't pay attention to astrology, but billionaires do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Lucas's channel, LC King. I know he's not in chat anymore, but he has got a good, if you want to learn all the bases and get all that stuff down in astrology, his videos, he just goes through it step by step. He put a lot, I mean, it's not going to be something you can watch in, 10 minutes or even grasp in a day. Like when I did the Walter Lewin electricity stuff, I watched those videos like 10 times to try and grasp that stuff. And that's kind of what you have to do with these. You just keep, every time you watch it, you learn something new. It doesn't matter how many times you watch Lucas's videos, something new comes at you, a new thought, a new idea, something that you haven't built upon yet just kind of pops in all of a sudden. But yeah, if you're into astrology or want to get into astrology and understand or try to comprehend what they know, how these lights above us and affect decision making, and when things are a good time to do this or a good time to do that, it's not just with plants, it's with everything. And those lights above us, I think that's why some years we have, it was the year of the cucumber, or the year of, there were certain years where certain plants, tomatoes, I remember one year I had just ungodly amounts of tomatoes, just like the oak trees that drop, 7 times as many acorns just one year out of the bunch. But it's every oak tree does it all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lights above. Yeah, these frequencies above us really do affect us a lot more than we realize.
And that's one thing that really made me kind of reassess a lot. Well, of course, it made me reassess everything. But bringing the stars from, where we were told they were a quadrillion, gazillion, bajillion miles away to something that's a lot closer and that we can actually see, are doing frequency, cymatic patterns in the sky with the right equipment, camera, whatever. Yeah, it kind of makes your whole idea of what astrology really is and who does use it and who doesn't. And, we kind of glanced over it a little bit on the Wednesday pre-show, but it just, the fact that billionaires use it and the fact that it has become such a joke in the mainstream. I mean, look at what they do in movies and shows. Hell, look at what they do with things like, what was it? The fake Jamaican lady that used to do the psychic call-in when...
Call me now, Miss Cleo.
Cleo?
Miss Cleo.
Yeah, that was, when you see stuff like that and it's so fakey, stereotypically trying to make it look ridiculous, again, if they're pointing over here, you should be looking over there. We know that by now. So, yeah, the fact that they try to make it's such a joke and it's almost like a space lettuce story every 2 or 3 months, a story coming through about how idiotic astrology is and only idiots would think it's real. Yeah, I'm definitely shout out Lumberjack. He's saying I gotta go, but I'll try to get back on soon. Great show. Much love to y'all. Man, thank you so much, Lumberjack. Great love to you. Come hang out again. Come be on the show with us sometime, man.
Right?
As you see, we're just rambling. We're just rambling.
Yeah, there is actually a meetup taking place down in Florida, man.
Awesome.
I don't know if we're going to be able to make that one. Probably not. Tomorrow we're going to be at the flea market, though, with that flat fellow. But
that's tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But, man, I miss you, bro.
I know we had it in our last chat. I mean, our last show description, the dates and the... Is it the one you're talking
get that one. Yeah, I'll get that one flat Atlantica.
Atlantic. That's it. Sorry, Flat Atlantic. That's it. My bad. I'll find the link in the description of the show and drop it in the chat as well. But again, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's huge
amazing.
Super chat right there. Thank you so much. That's... All right, we'll be back for the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks right after these briefest of messages.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, feel weak, run down, and are easily upset,
Smoke weed every day.
start taking iron today.
The iron you need to get what you want.
And welcome back. 4th and final segment. Kicking off now.
Welcome back, indeed. We went to commercial there with an awesome super chat from Lumberjack. Somebody that has his channel for me, please drop it in our chat. I have dug, and there's 1,000 of them. And of course, you know, our friends at the tubers make it difficult to go find someone else's channel these days. So I appreciate that.
Subscribed, but we will see.
I thought I might be, but I don't want to spend the next 30 minutes being distracted trying to find it to share it. So if you could share it for us, please, friend, that would be awesome. I did see that Candy arrived in chat exactly when she intended, and that's awesome. Hello. Big hugs. Hope you're safe on the road and not tripping too hard. I'm going to give you shit. You know that forever now. No way stations, right? No, I'll stop. Kelly is struggling to find the Lumberjack channel as well. Well, if you get it.
Yeah, I did. I found it.
Drop it. All right, cool. Thank you. Subscribe. I don't really know exactly what I've tried to keep up in chat, and it's been a difficult conversation just because I try not to get too distracted, but it's a long thread I'm trying to assemble and make sure I understand, and I don't. So what I will say that our buddy Daz talking about, excuse me, talking about making a run at being a full-time artist. It's a rough go, but I will say I have watched my niece grow into being a local artist who has become she got voted, whatever, there's a local, I don't know what it's called, 008 magazine or something. It's like a nice little publication. It's really, slick paper and all that. It's not just a local newspaper thing. It's a nicely made deal, and she got voted for the Acadiana's best artist or whatever. She does that. She does the Etsy thing. She does the some other sells thing with art. I don't know. But anyway, she's making a go of it. That's currently how she's making her living. Her and her significant other are sharing a home, and just a little encouragement. Yeah, I see you've probably been doing that too, dude. I know. It's just, the manifestation of it is very doable. If anybody knows that, you should, my friend. Good Lord, you are the warlock that's been teaching us all how to manifest here. So, but yeah, guys, go check out the artwork. I dropped the link in chat there. Kiki Kirsten Russo. Her artwork is pretty freaking amazing. Some of the stuff that's not on here that I'm looking for, I wish I could find to share too. Stuff that I know she's also done. I've got originals right now in our room, in our living room, everywhere. So she definitely has the knack for sure. And I felt when I saw your art on your walls when we first started hanging out and you shared that with us, that was the same feeling I got, that it came from a real place just like hers does. So I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, probably. Just sending you some positive vibes, friend. That's really what it's all about.
Candy, I am sitting on the eastern side of Missouri, just south of St. Louis. About a half hour, 45 minutes south of St. Louis. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, we have some original art that Dixie picked up on Facebook Marketplace about a year ago, I guess, while she was getting ready for this move. It's a really cool piece. It was done by a local artist who is a vet, a combat vet, and his therapist suggested to deal with some of his PTSD that he get into maybe making some art. So she found a piece that just really spoke to her, and it's just black on yellow. It's just a yellow base with black ink or just black paint. It's hard to tell because it's pretty fine lines, but it's like a little robot guy, just kind of junky and clunky, but he's got his arm out and a butterfly is coming and sitting on his finger. And it's the title of it's rough on the inside, rough on the outside, soft on the inside, or something like that. Rough exterior, soft interior, something to that effect. But it's really cool. Yeah. I'll still have to do that video walkthrough. Hopefully today I can get that done. Show people some of the art that we've put up. Yeah, it's coming together nicely.
Nice. Very nice.
I haven't hung a picture and I don't know how long. It's been a while. I used to. When I had my house, I did. You know, it looked like a menagerie on the walls.
Every time in the past I've had access to a tablet device or whatever device with one of these pens that I could actually use on a screen, I've tended to get lost in art yet again. I've already started doodling and really done some really silly things because I haven't had time to learn some of these new, pretty complicated drawing apps that come. There's one that's put out by, I think it's an Adobe one that when you go in there, the choices just go insane. There's Copic marker choices inside this app, which is pretty insane. Anyway, so who knows? I may throw some stuff up here soon when I get a little more adapted with the pen. Again, it's a whole different thing. But seeing her stuff all the time always just inspires me, man. I'm looking through her artwork right now, and like I said, every time I'd go over to Daz's stuff and see his stuff, both his art on the walls and some of the stuff he was putting up on his pages. Do it, man. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. That's my encouraging word for the day.
Big shout out to Sean Oko in chat.
What's up, Sean? Good morning, sir. Thank you for that.
Dropped, looks like $50 super chat saying, warm up the new house, Josh, and have some beers for the fam.
That is awesome.
Wow. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, you guys are blowing us away this morning, truly. All of you guys. I mean, y'all always blow us away, truly, just being here. But the generosity of late has been really overwhelming and making me feel guilty as frick because I don't tend to you guys like I feel like I should with the love and the attention and just the love, truly, that you guys send. I feel like I hopefully give it back here in the mornings and on the show, but I just feel like we should be doing so much more for y'all. That's why I threw up the little guitar video and I drove by the Sugar Beast there the other night, just testing out my camera. So I got a video there on the Patreon page to show you guys what the sugar creation is like down the road that you hear quite often, although quiet this morning. But yeah, wait, what did I do, boy? What did I do? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm guilty of something. Anyway, definitely just feel like I should be doing more for you guys. So I'll try to put up some more videos, and we're really trying to make this Patreon thing work for y'all, and not just for us, not just, oh, we got some money to build better sites or to make a better presentation, which has helped because we wouldn't be streaming right now to you guys on all these different versions of social medias if it wasn't for your generous help. So thank you. I'll stop rambling now. I feel like I'm just gushing. Yeah, guys, y'all have made it amazing. Truly. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I'm working on my video right now. I've changed the words so many times in this. I want it to be just right. It's a flat plane calculator. And I think it would be huge if we could show people, with actual science using, fundamental limitation of physics, of optics, not atmospherics at all, or a curve of the earth, but just by looking out over a flat plane, that things will start disappearing from the bottom up. And it happens over a very short distance. It's like at 3 miles, you lose 5.5 feet of your view along that line, that diffraction zone, that Fraunhofer diffraction area. So I think if this got out, and really took off, it would be a way to show normal people that, hey, there is a reason and there's even a calculation for it. And it's not like I made up any of the calculations. They're all well-known equations, and we just put them into a formula. Mr. Meekin helped me out a little bit. And yeah, it tells you, if you use 0.02 degrees, the human eye, its angular resolution limit of 0.02 degrees, yeah, you could show people that at, 10 miles away, this much of the bottom of things, over water, you're not going to see. It's just not going to happen. You cannot see that stuff. It all gets blurred together into a fine line. And yeah, I think that would help. But I want to make it right. Adam put a lot of work into the slideshow and then said he wanted to change it up and do it over again. So I had it worded for the slideshow he had made, but now I'm kind of rewording it a little bit differently and like fine-tuning it a little more. But it'll get out. I've been thinking about it a whole lot.
Well, I'm ready. I got my marshmallow ready for when you do. I'm just fucking with you. Oh, Zach, I still will never forget the effort that John and I put into figuring out this complicated thing with the moon and all that. And you pull out the marshmallow and make it so fucking simple. So I've got my marshmallow ready for when that video is.
No, Liz, but I did listen to it. Have I done the song? I promised. You Got a Friend in Me? No, I haven't even looked up the chords yet.
But I have in it. I do have faith.
Guitar, it's got to call me for me to go play it. It's not something I can just force upon it. It's weird. I go through stages.
No, it's not weird at all. I understand completely, man. Like this last push of me really just not stopping, which is rare, because I usually will get to a plateau with my achievements, I guess you could say, because there's always something I'm wanting to do on the guitar that I can't do, and it really frustrates me. So I'm always pushing myself, but I get to a point where I hit a plateau and I feel like I can't improve. I can't get any better with these scales or with this speed or with this feeling or whatever, and I feel like I'm just wasting my time. And it doesn't. It's just it, like you say, it has to talk to you and call you. It really does. And it is. No, I'm just saying it is definitely, I mean, if you're a person who's making a living with music or trying to make an album or whatever, I get the idea of forcing songwriting or forcing riff writing. I get that. But when it's not coming from a real place, I don't think it's as genuine. That's just me. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
Yeah, it's all got to happen in time, you know, at the right time. It's when the luminaries are above, shining down that certain frequency on you.
Truly. And what's frustrating is, as I'm doing what I'm doing now, which again, if you hear me, it's like, what? You're not that whatever. But I know what I've done. I know the improvements I've made, especially over this last like 6 months period. And it feels like, well, why couldn't I have done that 20 years ago, you know, or whatever, when I wanted it for different reasons. And I think that's why, because at that point I wanted those skill sets for different reasons. It was more of a, hey, I'm a guitar player, look at me thing. Now it's more of a, hey, I need this to come out of me, and it's got to get out there. And the only way I can get it out there is to have the skill set to make it happen fluidly, without it being without the technique getting in the way. It's kind of like when I was in choir and we would be forced to learn these hard, like complicated, like whatever, Mozart or whatever parts that this guy loved. The choir director was a tenor, so he would always give us the craziest parts, or write a piece with the most insane parts for us that he would make us learn and then put the book down. And you knowing it and knowing where it's coming from, it just lets you get out of the way of that flow that comes from out there through you out into the world. So I don't know, just it definitely has to talk to you. It has to be, because I could have done these things. I have the same fingers I had 20 years ago. I just didn't have the thing in me, I guess. I don't know. I'm rambling. But yeah, I get it, Zach. And you'll get there. You'll get there. I'm excited to hear that song too, Liz.
There's an art exhibit in either Vegas or California, somewhere out there in one of those deserts. And it's about Vincent van Gogh, a lot of his artwork, but it's all digital on these big, huge screens. And they play Starry Night. This guy plays Starry Night while you are walking through it. But he can't play it like Vincent or like Don McLean.
Yeah, I don't know if
you know how we were
can.
talking about how difficult that was to play. I got a big smirk on my face when I heard him playing it, because he adds in other instruments and this and that, and it's like, yeah, that's how you would have to do it, because playing it is like we said, playing in another language. Oh, phew! The sun's coming around, folks. I was getting worried there for a second.
Nice. Truly.
I looked up at like 6:31, and right as we were getting back from break, and I was like, I don't see any sign of light yet. What the fuck? Oh, no, it's going to be a good day, folks. Sun's coming around. Rest easy. So I hope none of you are going shopping at any of these big chain stores here and or are at one right now.
And even if you are, we forgive you.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard not to get wrapped up in that shit, truly. I mean, even as I rail against the evil of the TV, we had to get a new one. And I say we had to, quote unquote, because our vision is getting so bad we can't see the one we have from across the room. But hey, getting old sucks.
Yeah, it does. I feel old too.
Well, you just put your body through hell over these last week and a half, 2 weeks, friend. So I'm sure you're still.
I did really good until yesterday morning. So when I was 14, I was a wrestler in like Little League wrestling. And right towards the end of my attempt at wrestling, I was in a match, and some guy took me down to the mat, and he landed on my right shoulder with my left shoulder on the mat, and my shoulders came together and touched pretty much right in the middle in front of my chest, and sprained my thorax. And it's never quite been right ever since. But for some reason, I don't know if I fell asleep on it funny or what, but I woke up yesterday morning and I had to try, but make 3 or 4 attempts to actually get out of bed, find out a way I could roll myself out and get out of bed, just because it just felt like somebody had almost like what do they call them? Well, the Iron Maidens, but it's like an Iron Maiden strap that goes around my chest. It's just filled with spikes, and it gets real tight, and I can't breathe. And every time I breathe, the spikes dig in a little deeper, and that's kind of what it feels like. So I had to get on a heating blanket and spend most of the day that I wasn't getting ready to go to Thanksgiving dinner laying on my back with the heating pad on it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was tough.
Getting old sucks, doesn't it?
Getting old sucks. Moral of the story.
Our buddy Kelly in chat says you should be doing back bends on an exercise ball.
Well, I've got a foam roller that I use sometimes that if I just run it right up and down my spine and just lay on it, it kind of opens up my chest and massages some of those muscles along the spine, and right there on my shoulder blade is usually where that muscle starts to knot up. But yeah, it was so tight. I just went to touch my chest because I knew it would hurt, and I could just feel it. It's one of those, I can pop it 2 or 3 good times, and just touching it, because my muscles were so tight, I could just feel it pop immediately. It's not like I was trying to crack my chest, but just touching it, and I could feel it go because all those muscles were so tight. It was ridiculous.
Well, that sounds like it sucked.
Yeah, it did. I've not been in that much pain in a long time. I've learned to live with a little bit of it just because that's the way it's been for 30 years. Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, one of my ankles gets stiff on me to where I could tell it wanted to pop so bad. Going up and down the stairs just sucked up and down the hill. But it wouldn't pop. And then I woke up and it was fine. It's amazing how going to sleep just makes some things just kind of go away. I don't know if the little gnomes come and work on you while you're sleeping or what, but I've had that happen a few times. My shoulder be really, really bothering me, or an ankle or something, and yeah, just all of a sudden it's just like, wake up and it's gone. I can have it for like 3 or 4 days, and then just go to bed and wake up and yeah, back to normal. Yeah, the farmer workout, no doubt, Daz. Getting back into shape. Oh, that farmer workout. It'll
do it. And Farmer Tan is sexy too. Real quick, shout out to Clayton Jacobs. I have yet to I really, truly just went back to make sure I have it bookmarked, and I do. He's asked me to read this book, NPC, by Jeremy Robinson, which I have yet to read. I've even got, I believe I'm following him on YouTube now, if I'm not mistaken, subscribe to him, but I have yet to read the book. Clayton, I will. I promise you. I'm excited about it. But I just haven't had time to read. And I think I've broken my reading thing. We talked about that, I think, maybe last show or the show before, where we all have just gotten so fucked over by these damn screens that it's really difficult to read these days. And that's pretty much what the plan was. I realized that, but it just sucks that after all the years of me pushing reading and books and get off these screens that I have broken my reader. So I need to get a good book and get back in. I haven't finished it and read a whole book since James True's last book that I read. No, maybe I've read. No, that was the last one. No, seems like I read something else pretty awesome. Damn it, I don't know. I read something amazingly good after that, but just not reading like I used to. So thank you for reminding me, Clayton. I have it open. The tab will now stay open until I get that book read.
Oh, Hal Fuckery in chat tells me to pull my shoulders back, maintain posture. And once I got out of working in a kitchen and sitting down to do my job, that is one of those things that I think maybe really started to aggravate my chest and back again, was just sitting and no longer being on my feet, to the point that I had to retrain just how I sit. At work, I have pretty good posture and I can sit and do my work, but I wore one of those posture braces probably for the first 3 months just because I could feel myself hunching over. And I knew I needed to sit up straight and pull those shoulders back just for that reason. So here it's a little different because I got the keyboard and the mic and stuff like that. So I do tend to hunch around over here in the studio. But when I'm at work, when I have to sit like that for 8 hours a day, my posture really is pretty good, to the point that I had to retrain my brain how to sit up straight.
Yeah. Once I got into factory work.
Oh,
we're
damn.
about to end this thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we are. We don't even have
Thank you
time for
all.
that.
We will see you this afternoon over there on Have No Sphere.
Dom will be there, magnetized, vortexed water, growing vegetables. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are excited to hear this. So make sure you tune in to Have No Sphere. I love you guys. Have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. TGIF, I love you. Be good. Be well. Bye-bye.
And this snuck up on us.